All right, bro. So a couple things. First off, your grip. You have a weak grip. That's gonna play into a lot of the problems you're having. Some people freak out about changing their grip. For me, I can change it all throughout range sessions and it's really easy. If it freaks you out, just slightly change it. You have a weak grip, meaning you are tilted. You have this your right hand goes over, and then your left hand goes under. So left hand under, right hand over. Right hand isn't all that weak. On a strong grip, the V right here should point right, whereas it's pointing a little bit more towards right center for you. So what I would do is take your grip and shift it slightly this way. That's gonna help you keep the club face a little bit more closed rather than fanning it open. But I'm gonna adjust your takeaway too, which is gonna be huge. So right off the bat, your setup is actually pretty good. It looks pretty good, but your hands are a little bit far and you're a little bit over the ball. Now you're tall, so you're kind of like this, where you're humped over a little bit and your hands are out this way. I would tweak that just a little bit. Take the club, stand up, good posture, and then just push your hips back. Just one push like this, and then just hang your arms and let your arms hang a little bit like this. Rather than like this, it should be, your arms should not be out like this, they should be sort of under your shoulder. So I would move that in a little bit, adjust your grip so that it is, rather than like this, a pretty neutral or weak grip. I would turn this hand just slightly over and then put this slightly under. So the exaggeration of that would be this. But I would definitely move your grip a little bit that way. Another big issue is going to be not just your body movement, your lower body movement on your takeaway, and your hips, specifically your right hip joint. It's going to be your club face and what you're doing with your arms. You are fanning the club. This is where your problems start. You fan the club open like this. So you don't, what I'm going to ask you to do is have your club face in line with your hand, and you want to keep it closed. So say your hand is your club face, controlling the club face, your wrist and your hand, keeping it closed. Instead, you go open, and the first thing you do is you're fanning it open, and this is where you're going to end up. So you're going to be flat like this, and then to finish off your swing, because you don't have a complete swing from there, you're going to turn over and towards. So you end up going way over the top, and your first move in transition is to throw over so that the right shoulder actually stays higher. Right shoulder, left shoulder, it actually stays higher for really long until you finally, at the last minute, throw it at the ball. You stay higher over the top, and then you throw it under, and sort of, it's just a really bad move. I don't know whether to take a sledgehammer or a scalpel to your swing, man. But we're gonna keep it simple, right? So hips back, hang nice, just a little bit closer on the setup. Turn your hands a little bit right on your grip. I bet. Let me see the baby. Give me the baby. Let me see the baby. Come here, little baby.
For the video?
Yeah.
Don't hurt her.
Say hello, Joe. Say hello. Hi. All right, so keep it simple. Come inside, babe.
I'm going.
I can't do this video while you're watching.
I'm not watching.
Hips back, hang your arms, and then on the takeaway, so grip's gonna be a little bit underneath more, but on the takeaway, rather than this, you're gonna just let it climb up, let your right shoulder climb up and keep it more closed. So it should look more like this, rather than this. That's your first huge mistake. Right here, like this, and then from here, you can just turn. And then your first move, rather than first move rather than over the top can be to drop the shoulder, nothing with the hands, but just drop the shoulder, kind of like a baseball swing, and you're gonna sort of hang back almost while turning your hips. So turning your body while on an like up axis. So on your takeaway, you're like this, and then you're turning, so it's a step like in a baseball swing, turning, and then you should be tilted up. So golf swing, first move, step, and you're dropping and turning, and boom. Anyway, sorry, that's getting ahead of ourselves. So here, big thing on your backswing is that you're restricting your right hip socket. You're keeping it in internal rotation. It should externally rotate. So your right hip should turn out. Your belt buckle should turn this way. An exaggeration would be that your head should move this way. You should literally have all the weight on your back right heel so that I turn this way. And if I stand up, I can stand on my back right heel with balance because it's all there. So as you're doing all this, doing the proper swing, all of your weight should be turning off and away from the ball, head looking down over your shoulder, not restricting your hips. So what you're doing is you're turning and you're keeping your hips sort of planted almost. They turn a little bit, belt buckle turns slightly, but you're keeping them planted. And then if you do that, if you restrict it all the way and try to turn, in order to get a full swing, you're gonna have to go like that towards the ball. And then it's gonna start that over the top thing that you're doing. So free up and just naturally just flow away. It's gonna feel like you're not in control, like it's not stable, but just go up away from the ball, float away from the ball, and head moving this way, away from the ball. And then from there, the first move should be the step. So belt buckles turn this way. As you're transitioning, the first thing you should be doing is step, like a baseball swing almost. Step, plant, and then from here, you can swing and just turn everything.